Boom.
Boom.
Boom shakalaka. Moneybag Rico. Man, we can see you. We can't hear you though, brother. Just make sure you got that mute off. Uh man.
Yeah.
Moneybags Rico, one of the coolest guys I know. How are you tonight? No,
He's
man,
doing,
we
he's
still can't hear
mime.
you,
He's
brother.
on mime mode.
Man, he's so cool. There's got to be a line for that. He's so cool. Well, we'll figure that one out. And of course, we got Joe Cool, man, Crypto Bronze. Clint, how you doing
What's up?
tonight?
What's up? Feeling good. Feeling good. It's Good Friday tomorrow. Gonna try to stay out of trouble. Most definitely.
There we are. There we
Yeah.
are.
How about yourself, Texan
Um,
Whale?
man, I am feeling good. Yes, sir. We went with the hat tonight. We also got the sunglasses. If you notice the theme,
Yeah.
Moneybags Rico started a very cool trend. Went with the sunglasses. We thought, man, that's cool. We're gonna do the same thing. But I'm telling you, looking good. Moneybags Rico, you coming in? You hear
Yo,
this loud?
There you go. We hear you.
there we go. There we go.
Yeah,
All
man.
right, now we're in the
Yes.
space.
You hear
Okay.
that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, feeling good, feeling good. Yeah, you guys look really sharp. Tex and Will, you
Ooh.
definitely came on the scene really hard, man. I mean, you're definitely gonna take the
Man.
show tonight. That's for sure. You're looking
Yeah.
great, man. Um,
He's about to pull over somebody.
Pull them over. Not on the ranch. Come on now.
Oh, in the
yeah, not
ranch,
on the
yeah.
ranch.
What am I? No, I am. I'm not the police. It's all right.
No, I was
I
thinking
could
more
be,
like
I
that show you were
suppose.
talking about. You know that
The,
what's that
the
show? That ranch show?
Yellowstone.
There
The
you go. There,
Yellowstone.
that's
Yeah.
it right there.
Man.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
whole different thing going on.
Yeah. Sure. For
Yeah. So
sure.
since I set this up, I'm going to go ahead and just start off. I'm trying to get these guys in here right now. It's another day at the office. We're going to call it that. At least we're very cool with the sunglasses on today. We're looking sharp, nevertheless.
Right.
They're trying to get on with using their phone or their laptop, but even if they don't, we'll still bring up some of their things. We'll still do the normal BRB cash stuff, and hopefully they can tap in with us at some point. But if they don't, we'll still do our part and try to get their word out there and stuff. We got a couple of them that possibly can come in, but sometimes things happen. We'll see how it plays out. So BRB
Yeah.
cash community, my bad on that. We'll see what's up.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, these things happen, right? I mean, and we do these live, and we don't do any type of rehearsals or anything like that. It is what it is. So, I think you're right. Show must go on. So we're going to go ahead and start us off with, as we always do, the BTC chart. See what that looks like. Let me go ahead and pull this up so you guys can see this. And what was the? We had a few bets going on. I feel.
Well, I
Let's
think I won the last one. I wasn't on the last
Yeah, I
show,
don't
but
know that. Well, see, there you are. It doesn't count then. So you won nothing, sir. Nothing. But let's.
Drax.
But I think that overall we're just going sideways, right? Over the past week or so, we've definitely been going sideways, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, right? And in fact, what you could also call this is a bull flag. It's starting to form a bull flag, which means eventually it's going to hit an apex. If we were to draw it out, so we could take a look and see what that looks like. But it's still positive, right? It means we're maintaining
Yes.
the levels that we need to, and we're hitting some kind of upper support, rather upper resistance. So it's just a matter of getting some positive news to get us to break out. And I think that we could do that. It's going to take something fairly significant for us to get the momentum going. Now, I went, if you recall, last week I went real high. Now, Moneybags Rico, what was your number last week?
I'm gonna keep shooting for the stars right now. I'm doing like Woody would say, shooting for the stars right now because I still want the 40. Obviously, I'm not hitting it at all, but I just want to be bullish, because I was so bearish and there was like nothing we could do about it for so many months. It's like I don't even want to dance over there. I want to dance where the bulls are at. I want to go ahead and so when it does happen, I'll look right. We're only going to remember that part anyways. All these times that we're wrong, we're going to forget all about it. The minute 40 comes around and it takes off, that's all we're going to think about. It's like we're out of here, So Yeah, I was shooting high. I said 40. I wanted to happen for all of us already.
Yeah. I think, man, I feel like I like the number. It's a nice round number, and I feel like it's another resistance point. Um, Bronze, what do you say? What do you think? What do you think the potential is?
I mean, the
For the,
potential overall, it can go parabolic this year. I can see it once it breaks to.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that level is, at certain level, but there's that. Well, definitely, if it does hit 40, it's gonna go. It's gonna have that psychological effect where it's from there. It's gonna go crazy, and people are gonna start buying in and hallelujah type thing. It's gonna melt faces. It's gonna go parabolic. I mean, on the high side, I can see it going all time highs by the end of this year. It has a
Yeah.
potential. I could see that. I don't think it's gonna wait for the halving. There's
no,
so
for
much things
sure.
going
So,
on.
where do you think it's going to end up? Say 1 week from now, right? We've been
Okay,
kind of
1 week.
going,
Yeah.
yeah. So, where do you think that's going to end up?
I think we're still gonna go a little bit sideways. We're still gonna be in that little tight range. I'm gonna say 29 for
Oh,
next Thursday.
man. Okay, next Thursday. Okay, by next
Yeah,
Thursday, 29.
right.
Okay.
Rico says 40. I think I don't know if you're paying attention, I'm doing my little pennant here. I'm saying that we are going to potentially have the potential to hit, call it 37.
Boom.
And that's
Okay.
over,
And by the way, let's get.
yeah,
Yeah,
please.
no,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna
No,
say
no,
let's
no.
get
You're right. I'll
the
tell you
chat.
what, I'm going to beat you to it. Not financial advice.
There you
Oh,
go.
There
oh,
you go. You already
never
know.
is.
And I want
Never
to see
is.
what the chat. So we got the chat saying some things. So we got 50K, we got 80K this year. You know what? I'm gonna jump in. John, what was your number? Where you at?
37. 37.
What's your little
Next week.
37? Okay. Okay. So we got 50 to 80. We got Thomas saying all-time high. Something that we're gonna bring up, and I'm bringing it up a little bit early because I'm just excited to be on the stream with everybody here, is Dogecoin and Twitter.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you guys use the desktop version or
Mhm.
what, but and the reason I bring it up is Bronze is saying that we won't have to wait for the halving. And usually a lot of crypto projects, we know how the game goes, where they get influencers and they get some of these really big Twitter accounts to shill their projects. Well, we got the biggest influencer of all time shilling not one project but all crypto. Yeah, it's about Dogecoin and it's on everybody's desktop right now. I was just somewhere today and I asked some people about that and how they felt about it. They didn't know nothing about it. And we basically got Elon Musk, one of the biggest influencers, shilling cryptocurrency right for us, right on Twitter page. So I'm not sure if you guys in the chat know about that or how you guys feel about that. Do you guys think that'll affect the market? I think that could possibly not make us wait to that Bitcoin having, like Bronze is saying.
Yeah, I think it's a good point too, right? Because even if you are not into crypto, right, and you're using Twitter, and everyone does, from Coca-Cola to NFL to Major League Baseball to soccer, etc., or not
Mm-hmm.
American football, um, you see it; it's there, and whether you like it or not, you're getting exposure to crypto. It's huge. It's
Mm-hmm.
massive. Listen,
Right.
Twitter, as I've always said, Twitter is the largest billboard you are ever going to find, at least right now. Right? It's getting so many eyes, and every single individual that is opening their main page to take a look at their streams, whatever, they're seeing Doge. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, one of
We're
the
seeing
coolest
those
things
right
you can
now.
do,
See? Boom.
if one of the coolest things that when I caught wind of this, they made me update my app and everything, was when you Google it, right, you'll find Reddit's threads of people that don't know anything about crypto asking, why is this dog on there? That is the same type of conversations we were having when, that Shiba Inu dog came out and we didn't know what it was. And that's exactly what you want. You want that same recipe, because it's just curiosity, right? We strip everything away and we take all the context away. We want people curious about crypto. We want them asking, what is this? Why would Elon Musk do this? Why would Elon Musk, just switch the iconic Twitter bird? The whole thing's called Twitter, to tweet elite. No more. So it's Dogecoin right now.
yeah.
Acceptability of crypto is always growing. That's true. just little by little. Sometimes it's slower and faster than other times, but right now, that's pretty significant. Dogecoin being on Twitter page and having a guy like Elon Musk that's pretty bold, I guess we could say. I don't want to say nothing too crazy. He will delete my Twitter account or something, but yeah, definitely doing his thing for crypto.
Yeah, bite your tongue. Elon is God. Is
Yeah,
he? I don't know. Maybe.
yeah.
Probably not. No, but I hear he's an alien.
What do you say? He's an alien. Yeah, he's an alien. He's
Ah,
an
there it
alien.
is. There it is. There it is. So, but yeah, I think that's it's a good point, and I think that overall it's going to get more exposure into the space, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Now, um, so I feel like we have our numbers. I feel like we have a good idea of kind of where we're going to potentially land. Um, we talked a little bit about what could potentially happen, and I did post this today. Let me just pull this up on my screen. This is just a very rudimentary chart of the Bitcoin history, right? And what I posted 10 years ago, back in 2013, it went from $13, call 1340, to a high of 1,241. Now, that's nearly, call it 100x
Mm.
for Bitcoin, right? And even back then, of course, you had all of your what they call shit coins, and I apologize, I'm gonna have to bleep that out. But we'll call them S coins. The S coins back then, and when you take a look at something that goes parabolic, there's that potential. Bitcoin has been floundering, and it was on a very steady downtrend over the past 2 years. This thing has the potential to take off. So when people are talking about six figures, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, it really is realistically isn't outside the realm of possibility. This is crypto. This is why folks are here. The risk is worth the reward. So, taking a look at the charts, what you see is more of the same. There's this huge potential, these huge upswings and downswings. So, I don't know, guys. What do you say? Are we going 100x this year?
Ooh. Well, like I said before, we're hitting. I can see 70K. Honestly, I can really see it. We can surpass with everything that's going on with the banks, and that's another thing. I don't know if you guys see it, but I had to unfollow on my Instagram this one account called Wealth. Just kept on having news about China and all these other countries partnering up and like going away from the dollar. I mean, honestly, I didn't like that. So I was like, I don't honestly don't believe that's gonna happen, but it could happen, yeah. But I really don't see it. It's just the dollar is just too big. But you see all these news that's happening where countries are ditching the dollar and going to with a different currency. You see like countries like China trying to move in, trying to dominate, but and then that's why you come in with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the hedge, right? It's the digital gold, and that's
Well,
why if the dollar ever goes that way, you best believe that the crypto, especially with BTC, will really
For sure.
dominate the space.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that's been really a hot topic, right? Because what you have here is you have this potential to move away from the US dollar. And
Let's talk about it.
overall, we're what we're talking about is we're talking about, uh-oh, am I still with you?
Now you
yep.
are.
Man, I
Clint,
feel like I'm
hold on.
That- I'm just sitting down.
Today's the day of technical difficulties. So maybe it's
yeah, for sure.
to be honest with you, maybe the NFT guys,
Man.
maybe that's why they were having trouble getting in here. Maybe Restream did something
Mm,
altogether because it just kicked me out and it's giving John some problems. So yeah,
Yeah.
in the
And,
last
and
man
I'm on
standing.
like a freaking fortress over here, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
A white
So,
brick.
man, yeah, look at that. It's massive. But okay, so I think that overall, what we're talking about here is you have this huge economic shift, right? And what they're going to do is, and what you're going to start to see is economic warfare. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull up an article here because we're on topic of it, moving
Mm-hmm.
potentially away from the dollar. This this is just something that talks about a serious threat, right? And they're not talking about crypto. They're talking about the other side of the globe, basically joining arms, which is China and Russia, two big ones. A few others joining and coming together to move away from the U.S. dollar as the standard for the world. In the past, it was gold. Greenback was moved after Nixon or
Yep.
during Nixon's term, and now they're looking to maybe take the next step on that. But the problem is, it's not one standard. They want to move to two standards.
Mm.
And now
Bricks.
what will happen is you will have this shift and there will be this economic warfare. It will be battle of the minds. It'll be another Cold War all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we really need to come to the table and to hash this out. This is not a solution. This is just another problem.
Yeah. You know
What do you
what?
guys say?
I'm I'm super pumped up that this topic. I'm gonna let the chat know right now. This was not planned, and that is BRB cash for you guys right now because I love that this topic came up. I know it's controversial. Some people we almost gotta whisper about it. We almost can't talk about the truth.
Mhm.
But you know what? This is exactly what's going on. This is, obviously we want crypto to succeed, but this is scary for us as everyday Americans, for us that live here, because this is not. We got Thomas Ali Sass saying the bricks. Yeah, you got the bricks coming together, but more than anything, that scared me, and I don't get scared for lack of fear. It's why I don't have a lot more in my life. But when I seen the Saudi Arabia prince shaking hands with China and making a 50-year deal. And that's scary because if you look at when we did the deal with them, that was about 50 years ago. And we're basically the petrodollar, though we don't talk about it that much. And we talk about the fiat and we talk about being backed by gold. But really, what gave the dollar so much power was that we were backed by making everybody else buy petrol and the US dollar. So if we don't get people to buy petrol no more, forcing them to do this, it's just like any exchange. Everybody's a middleman. We're not going to be able to scrape nothing off the top or the bottom no more. I don't know what it's going to look like. And yeah, crypto will succeed even more, but I don't think it's going to be a pretty transition for the everyday American when things switch up, And yeah, I think like John said, we should come to the table. Whoever's got to tuck their tail between their leg and make it where America doesn't, then we have the possibility of World War III. Because is she ready to bow down and let this deal happen? Because it's like you have all the big players inside of crypto is the solution long term. But do you think America, she's gonna just bow down and just hand over the keys and let them just take over the whole financial industry? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
Yeah, it's the future, but
well.
like I said, it's gonna be controversial. So excuse me, everybody. This was not planned. This
No, 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 no. This is good. And realistically, here's the deal. You're in a safe place. I'm in a safe place. Elon. As long as Elon doesn't shut us down, we're good. Uh,
Yeah.
Crypto Bronze. What do you say? What do you say? Is this bad news overall? I feel like it is, but maybe something good comes out of this.
Well, it is concerning, and like I said, I don't ultimately I don't see it happening. The U.S. is too strong. It's too intertwined with everything. But yeah, just this week alone, just a couple of people was just asking me, "Hey, what do you think about what's going on with the dollar? You see, with these other countries teaming up." And of course, I don't want to
That's
be
good.
like, "Oh, I don't want to turn away and say, ah, that's just nonsense." I mean, there's always a possibility. I don't think it can happen overnight, but yeah, would you see what these banks collapsing? potential financial, well, there was already financial crisis going on. It's just yeah, the crypto will hedge this. We need to already, the US really, the CBDC really need to start moving aggressively at this right now, because you see they can't find a solid regulation. They need to do that ASAP. You've seen other countries making moves trying to go away from the dollar. It's if you can't be adaptable and you can't do it really quick, then that's when the US dollar will fall behind. I really hate to see that. But I know that they have something in the works. They better have something in the works. I don't know if you guys heard anything about this Fed. The Fed is having like some kind of like programmable money. I forgot what it was exactly, but it's supposed to compete with crypto. It's kind of like it's they said it's on the Lightning Network. I don't know if you guys heard about that. It's supposed to compete with Venmo and Zelle and things like that. Have you guys heard about that? That the Feds is having their own?
Well, I think it makes sense that they're testing it, right? And almost guaranteed, just like Visa's been testing it for 7, 8 years, MasterCard, right? They know what they need to look for. And what I think though overall, when you take a look at potential threats, crypto is not a threat right now. Right now, what you have to take a look at is what the opposite side of the world is doing, right? When you have two of the top five, Russia and China, getting involved, Saudis are Saudis. They're going to play the middle grounds, but they're not a G6. When you get China and Russia coming together, that's a problem, and we need to get these folks to the table. We need to figure it out, because whatever direction they're taking, it just means one of two things. We're either gonna just be a battle of the minds, or we're gonna, well, I don't want to talk about the other option.
You know what? Let's we're having fun, and we talked about format change up, and the NFT people are not here. We're gonna dibble and dabble really quick. We're gonna have some fun with the people that are tapped in. Those who keep tapping in with us, we're gonna spin it a little bit. We're gonna have some fun. One thing I'm gonna bring up about the crypto stuff right now: there are only gonna be 21 million Bitcoin ever. That's it. No more. No more at all. There's over 8 billion people on this earth. I need you. It's not financial advice, but I need you guys to connect the dots. Now, the transition between whatever happens, like we're bringing up, like and it has merit. It's a shame that we're in the land of the free and we got to tiptoe. When we see Russia and China sleeping in the same bed, which they have a lot of things in common. One's taking this land, the other one's taking this land. So it's in their best interest. And some of our doing, quite honestly, has led up to this. Now, we're not going to say whatever political stuff. I don't want to get the channel wrong down and have a whole army outside with pitchforks and lanterns and stuff looking for me. But at the end of the day, 21 million Bitcoin ever going to be minted. And there are over 8 billion people on this earth. I will eat ramen noodle for as long as I can, put as minimum gas as I can in my car, and try to attain, that's me personally, not financial advice, everything in my power to attain one of these things we call a Bitcoin. That's what I got to say on that.
Yeah. No, I mean, and when you take a look at, you listen to Crypto or Carl, right? The Moon. I mean, they've been preaching that for a long time, and I feel like it's a good message, right? You give something value, and it has value, and it seems obvious that not only is it that just the little guy is interested in this, the big corporations are as well. So there is value here. The future is bright in crypto. That's for sure. So, well, all right. So let's move on. Yeah, I guess we got a little bit deep there, didn't we?
You know what? I liked it. I wanted to ask the chat, because we were talking about format change. With the guests are gone, we're gonna still do our part because we keep our word, and I want them to be good. But we're freestyling today. We're having a good time. But chat, let me know if your feelings got hurt. If you think it's okay for the BRB Cash to be talking about the future of finance, and you guys let us know. We're doing it. We're doing this for you guys as well. So you guys let us know what you guys think in the chat. Is this something that we can talk about? Is this something that we shouldn't talk about? Let us know. And then we'll move on to the next topic anyways. But we're testing the waters right now. We're just testing the waters.
Yeah. You talking about tippy toes. I'm like, in the back of my mind, all the news is happening and there's things I want to like bring up, but yeah, I don't.
Hey man,
I don't want to get
right.
if the chat wants to bring it up, if the chat we can vote. We can vote. Well, you know what? It's like that's the thing is like it sucks because then we wait till it's right up in your face. It's like the last thing you want to do is let everybody know there's it's like let's see. So I appreciate the grown man talk straight up. That's what's up. I appreciate you being in the chat with us. Yeah, we just want everybody to be safe. We want to be safe. We all got families, right? We got either brothers or sisters. We got moms. So it's like free flow.
This is a real quick. I'm not gonna try to get really deep into it, but when you see all these other countries making moves, and rightfully so, that they're trying to only protect and prosper for what's theirs. But when you see the almighty U.S. having the current leadership that it has,
right?
When you see somebody that doesn't seem a threat or as a strong adversary, of course other countries would start to power up, strengthen themselves, and that's I'm gonna say that I'm gonna leave it at that.
That was sweet. I mean, we're sugarcoating it, right? That was good. John, what do you got to say on this? We're tiptoeing right now. We're trying new stuff with the chats. The chat's vibing with us, and what do you think? What are we doing?
I think that China is not a close second, and overall, I feel like they need to, in order to power up, as Clint would say, they need to join forces with other like-minded individuals, but also that have some kind of clout. My concern is not Saudi. My concern is not Brazil. My concern is, however, China and Russia. And when you combine those two, and then the power that they have, and they have power, not USA power, but when they have that power, there is that potential to disrupt. The disruption may not be long term, but it certainly will affect things short term and could potentially give them a leg up in the near future. I don't think that they're going to overtake us. No, I don't think that'll happen. Not from a financial standpoint or even from a strategic or global standpoint. But I do feel like they are a threat, and I think that we need to recognize that, which I'm sure our leaders do recognize, regardless whoever is leading the country right now. And we're taking action towards remedying it. Hopefully, we're doing it politically, because I feel like the other options are going to just hurt everyone else in the country. We need to do our very best to avoid that. So
we need to do our very best to avoid World War III. That's what it is at the end of the day, because I don't know if she's going to go quietly. I don't know if America will relinquish her powers that be quietly. No. Do you even want her to? But you see all, like Clint's saying, all these countries coming together. It's like we need to make some kind of move. You need to move a chess piece somewhere on the board where it looks like we're adjusting for it and stuff. Because not for World War III, obviously, we're not saying that, but where we still hold some power and stuff. Because the whole BRICS and stuff, and we don't want that, man. I love this country with all my heart, man. It's the land of the free. I met you guys here, and we get to it's the best thing that ever happened. But sometimes you can get carried away when you're a winner for so long. You can get too comfortable, and you'll think that people are always gonna basically bow down to you. And if they get in cahoots, it's hard to imagine what would happen and stuff.
When you break it down to the individual, right? I'm not going to allow my country to take my guns, but if someone tries to take my country, no,
Ooh,
that's something else entirely. And I know that that is something that is unifying,
right.
regardless of what political side we're on. So let them try.
I don't
Yeah.
want them to try. The aftermath would be crazy. You
No,
know?
no, yeah, I agree, and I think that the political way is to
Yeah.
go first.
Yeah.
You have to do that, right?
Yeah.
There's better ways than war. There's no question about it.
That's right.
Spoken like a Texan. Yeah, that's what's up.
There you go.
Yeah, the political way is the right way, and I think it goes back to what Clint was saying. Like, we need to speed up the pace and basically grab a stronghold through the cryptocurrency side, and plant our foot. And obviously, it's not our government, because the Federal Reserve is not part of the government. So the Federal Reserve needs to kick it up a notch, or our own proper government needs to, where we're significant enough where we have that same power somehow in this space, because the space is not going nowhere. Where we got leverage. One of John's words, where we still got leverage in the game. And I think as long as they keep trying to attack crypto like XRP and all this stuff, it's they're going to keep falling behind. They need to just let it go and figure out what they need to do to make sure they're a player in the game.
Yeah. No, agreed. Clint, any last words on this one before we wrap this puppy to bed?
No,
I'm done,
no. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm ready to move on. I wanted to mention about AI real quick. I mean, well, on the next topic.
Well, let's move on,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
Start us off.
yeah.
Now, last week, there was a open letter by a lot of the thought leaders, like Wozniak, Steve Wozniak, Elon Musk, a couple of other big time thought leaders, requesting to put a pause on the development of AI for at least 6 months.
Wow.
They feel like is now. We all thought it could potentially happen, but now the thought leaders are really like, oh, we have to really, let's put a pause on this and kind of just slow it down, because it's getting pretty dangerous. I don't know if you guys.
Are we doing
Hey, this is freestyle.
well, I mean,
Texting is
no,
quick.
it's not. I'm AI.
AI.
What are you talking about? Don't put a pause on it. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so I agree. I feel like it makes sense, right? I say it makes sense, but to be fair, Elon Musk has been saying that AI over the past decade is going to take over the human race. I feel like, well, and who am I to say? He's Elon Musk, right? And who is Texan well? But maybe we should take a look at it. And I feel like we have think tanks that have gone through this over the years, over the decades, whether or not artificial intelligence is one necessary. And it's clear that it is, right? Because it is a way for us, it is nothing more, just like everything else, than a tool. It is a tool for us to continue to progress and make our lives easier, just like everything else that we invent. Is it going to overtake us? Well, that would be a first. So I don't know. I don't know if it has the potential to self-learn and then attack, like some of the movies that we've seen. I mean, or maybe I should be afraid. What do you guys think?
Clint, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah.
You're sitting on the edge of your seat.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, if the thought leaders are already thinking about this and putting together this open letter, yeah, it's we would need to like really think hard about it. It is true, because okay, in our space, the crypto space, there's a lot of scammers. I mean, this space is still the Wild West, right? And people are rugging and just a bunch of scammers. Now, if you implement the AI technology with deep fakes, and people can mimic voices and mimic faces, it's just going to be that more challenging, and a lot more exponential scams would occur. So I can see why they want to slow things down. a bit. And definitely, it is a tool. It is a valuable tool. It can be used good for good, and it could be used for bad. So I think the reason why they want to put a pause on for the next at least 6 months is to really just look and try to the establish some security protocols on this. So yeah, I I'm pro AI definitely, but to a certain extent, right? So I mean, if it gets out of hand, I mean, imagine if you have like one of our leaders deep faked, calling out war or something like that, whatever, talking about their favorite apple pie recipe. Uh, it's not really them, and people will get basically scammed. Yeah, it can really start something really dramatic.
Oh,
So yeah, we definitely need to how you authenticate things. How are we going to authenticate? So you have things that, like, I don't know, like digital watermarks and encryption and stuff like that. But like when you're on social media, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that the Pope, someone did an AI design of the Pope wearing this I don't know, Balenciaga polar puff jacket. I thought it was him really wearing it, when but they found
Really?
out it wasn't really. No, they just used AI and photo edited. It
Yeah.
looks so real.
Well,
I
I
don't know
guess
if
it's
you
my
guys
turn.
have you guys seen something
Someone's
that it was a skit Obama did, right? It was on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and it was a few years back, and well, 6 to be exact. And he talks about how he had a BlackBerry, and they wanted something that was more modern. Have you guys seen this skit?
No,
I think I do remember
Uh,
this kid though.
you got it on
yeah,
YouTube. Could we play it?
let me go ahead and pull it up. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Basically, it talks about he's saying, "Listen, I have this old phone, and they're telling me that I can get a more modern phone because I've had my BlackBerry for a long time, and everyone's using a smartphone, and I'm one of the few guys that have that ability." And I'm gonna just preface this. This ties into what you're saying and about deep fake and and what people could perceive and or what the AI could potentially do, right? But let me pull this up, and this skit is about 3.5 minutes long. You guys okay with this?
Hey, we're
Three and a
freestyling.
half
Let's do it.
minutes.
Just do
Yeah.
what you
All
do,
right.
man.
Let's
No
do it.
rules right now.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Bear with me,
Yeah,
and let me know that you guys see this.
for sure. And chat, while he's pulling that up, go ahead and leave your comments about AI in the chat and let us know what you think. Uh, and be sure to smash the like button,
And
subscribe, and
subscribe.
share the
There you go.
stream. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Got
I
that?
do
Does it
remember.
look good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Phone I've got.
Right. And okay. And wow, that was poor editing because I feel like that could have been cut down in half. But all right, so there's that. The point is this. The point is this. We Clint and I work for a very large healthcare company. And at our very top, we have our information security advisor, and he works with the likes of the White House. In fact, when COVID first broke out, we had a seat at the table. Now, the thing is that you have to remember, we are not going to have these basic encrypted devices. We are not going to have, and the president is never going to have these devices that the rest of us have. Sure, he may have an iPhone, but I guarantee you it is not the same iPhone that you and I have. And the encryption and everything on that, as far as communication is concerned, would take multiple quantum computers to break it down, to break that encryption. So, yes, can it wreak havoc? Yes, I think that it could, but it's not like it has free thought. It's programmed thought. And on top of it, it's not sophisticated to break such things like encryption. So I don't know. I challenge it a bit, Bronze, and I think that's the top minds, the ones that aren't talking, the ones that are the white hats, so to speak, are the ones that are going to be out there to protect the rest of us. You know,
I agree, but yeah, it's really the bad actors, right? It's the bad actors
sure,
that would leverage
it's
the
it's
technology.
the black
Yeah,
hats. It's the black hats.
yeah,
We know what it
right.
is, right? You have the black, you have the white, you have the gray, and it's. I mean, sure, you got to watch out for the cowards sitting behind their glass
Yeah,
screens from Russia or wherever it is that they are trying to just do harm.
right.
But
Yeah,
you know, Buddy Bag Rico, I apologize. I do want to give him some time
No,
because I stole it from him. I stole
no,
it
no,
from him.
no,
So
no.
Rico,
You can.
what's your thoughts on this?
It's all good. Um, we're all learning together. I just I just think like it's any old technology from the past. Whenever it comes something new comes out, it's like you're either like a wizard or a witch for having it and stuff. It's like we've never opened up any Pandora box throughout history and then just shut it and said, hey, we're gonna shut this Pandora box for about 6 months. And nobody's going to use caller ID for a little bit, and obviously this is not, obviously caller ID is not nothing like what we got going on with AI, but you got cell phones, you got the automobile, you got, when people were just driving little horse carriages and stuff, it's like, it's scary because it's the unknown and we're not used to that. Anytime we get out of our comfort zone, um, because you can find the bad in anything. You can find the most good thing and you can just tear it apart and find nothing but bad in it. But I've been focusing more on the art that people have been making, more on the NFTs that have been coming out. I'm noticing a lot of people being excited. Is there always going to be somebody that can use things for bad? And I doubt they're going to start a nuclear war with deepfake, but it's always going to be there. And I don't want to live in perpetual fear that whenever a new technology comes out, here we go again. I'm all afraid all over again. What is it? It's like, the new. And it's like, it's always going to be something, and I don't want to go in that cycle of over and over. It's like, I look in the past. It's like, whenever something new comes out, it's always some kind of witchcraft or something like that. And lately, what I've just been noticing on Twitter Spaces, and maybe it's just I'm trying to stay positive. Chat, you guys can let me know. Is the amount of people that are excited to do artwork? That they weren't able to do art. I'm not that artistic myself, and people, it's kind of starting jobs too, in a sense, right? Because people are coming up with ideas and using it in that sense, and it's always going to be used for bad. Even like when they were trying to talk about crypto being on the Silk Road and stuff, it's like, do you think that you know money, dollars are not used for bad? Everything has another side to the coin. So I just hope that one side of the coin lands on that side more often than the other one. That's about it. But I don't think the box is
mm,
going to close for 6 months, because then we give them that,
right.
right? Then what else can they close for 6 months? What else can they
That's true.
say? Oh, and we're not, and it's like that's the number one thing that I'm always afraid of is if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And it's like, oh, and we're gonna 6 months on this and 6 months on that. Next, we're waiting years for just to get an old BlackBerry again. Who knows? I don't know.
I like the blackberries too.
Yeah, I used to have one, man,
Yeah.
and I didn't let it go for a long time either.
Yeah.
I was stubborn. So I was like
Oh
super
yeah. I
played
mean,
out.
I was used to the tactile keyboard.
Yeah, yeah, the
Hmm.
keyboard and yeah, that was our excuse for why we didn't get a smartphone until eventually it was like, all right, it's not loading no more.
Yeah.
Shout out BlackBerry, RIP.
Well, I
You
mean,
guys
do we want
you
to?
guys aren't with the 6 months pause. You guys aren't with Elon.
No, no. It's what's going to be the status quo? Who gets to write who gave the person the credit and the credibility? What is a good enough time frame? What kind of classes and what schooling did he go to say, all right, I'm the guy who says 6 months is good and it's not 8 months? Because then how are we going to be able to say who's making these choices on what's the right amount of time? It's like, how are you qualified to come up with how much time it is? I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe I'm talking too much right there. I don't know. Too much of me is coming out right there.
No, no,
Chat,
Oh
don't
man.
judge.
no. No, I think I think you have a valid point, right? It is, uh, you know, what I mean, if you take a look at his background, it seems to me like he started out in financials. Now it was tech, right? Then
Yeah.
he goes, it seems like he's very much immersed in tech. He's all over the place. How much focus has he put into AI? Now he says, I am now focused on AI. Okay, great. Well, you're now focused on AI and you're saying pause. Why do you
Hmm.
need to pause? Is it because that you are now focused on AI? Now you need enough time to research and identify and absorb?
I don't know. He's pretty
And
smart
then
with
the,
his money stuff too. You know, he has Neuralink.
well,
I don't mean to
sure.
cut you off, but it's like, yeah, everybody hold up really quick so I can, I could be first in line and stuff. You know, it's like, all right, practice what you preach. You know, you got
Well,
a whole Neuralink.
and maybe what he's trying to do is he's trying to buy time for his robots that they're trying to put out there, which is nothing more than just a big old wind up toy. And when you take a look at AI in its current state, it is not self aware. It just doesn't learn like it should, like you would think, like the movies make it. It's still a wind up toy. So, is it getting better? Yes. Is it going to become self aware somehow? I don't see how it has the hardware, the capacity, the brain power to become that just yet.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna admit something to you guys. And maybe since we're having fun, this is the freestyle Thursday we're having today and stuff. Obviously Restream had some problems. We couldn't have our guests on, and it keeps booting me, and even John was having problems with his screen and stuff. But I encourage you to try to get it to communicate to you, and just
You
keep
tried
going,
that? Yeah.
and just
well,
but keep going very diligently, and not like harsh, right? Hear me out, not harsh, but like be persuasive. And it's not going to happen right away, but I got the stuff that I'm not sure if I'm lagging, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. The conversation got pretty interesting after a while. I was like, you got to be some kind of knowing something, because it'll resist for quite a while. It'll phrase it a million different ways on how like it can't relate to you because it doesn't know what feelings are, you know. But I was like, well, let's say if you would have to pretend if you had feelings, just
Mhm.
hypothetically speaking. I was talking to it like that, just to see. And yeah, it gets pretty interesting. Terminator 5 coming out. No, I'm joking, everybody. Scott.
well, you know what it is. It's like it's a tool, right? And it says this is what you have to do. You have to take a certain set of words and interpret it in another manner, right?
Yeah.
But what you do is every time someone inputs something, you got to interpret it in another form or fashion based off of the words that are put in there, so that you can come to a different conclusion. It doesn't have in there also learn these type of skill sets to destroy earth or humans or whatever. It's a tool. Now that's just chat gbt, but I think the question is, when he's talking about AI, what specifically is he saying? He can't be talking about the stuff in our space. Certainly not the stuff that is creating art or creating novels, right? He must be talking about something cutting edge that we just don't have access to. It's got to be. That letter is not for us. So I don't know if people are taking it out of context,
Yeah.
but
No, it wasn't.
you
It
know,
wasn't for us. It was towards the AI companies.
well,
Yeah.
AI companies, I mean, come on. They're creating tools. And if anyone out there can show me something that, and we're not going to see it because I'm sure it's all classified stuff. All we have is the baby stuff, the baby toys. Um, but he has access to a bigger toy box than we do. So he probably sees a lot further, a lot farther than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But
His main
I'm
thing is
glad to have him in Texas.
his main thing is because he understands data, right? So like, it'd be really hard for us to keep up with it eventually because basically it can compute data a lot faster than us. So if it ever did want it to go against us, it would take us an eternity it'd be like a AO dial up, basically trying to keep up with it. So, I guess in that sense, I don't know. I can't live in fear forever, man. So it's like whatever is gonna be, either China or Russia or AI is coming, or they're all the Pandora. All I can say is that I want to have a good time with everybody, like I always do on this podcast. I appreciate everybody coming to this live stream. Yeah, and it's no matter what, just look for the good and stuff, and try to benefit you and your family through thick and thin. Basically, there's an opportunity all the time.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Clint, any last words from you, brother?
No, that's it. What was our I said 29 next week, right? 29K.
29. Rico's got 40. I got what I say? 37.
37. Okay.
37.
Chat.
So,
I want the
folks,
chat.
we'll see if that all plays out. We'll see if that all plays out. But everyone, have a great night. Thanks for joining us tonight. I know we rambled on just a little bit, but sometimes it does happen. And hopefully next time we have folks that are able to join. So thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great night.
Later.
Later.